What's up, guys? So, I decided that I would compromise a little bit of my sleep tonight in the name of getting this topic done and in the name of not missing a day streaming. And if you were not here yesterday, what I was talking about was I found an essay of something that I wrote when I was a teenager. It feels like it was ages ago, but it wasn't that long ago, but it was a long time ago. It's just my brain playing tricks on me. And basically, I'm just going back and looking at it and seeing if I agree or disagree and just how naive I was. And now that I actually have experience as a worker, how is this different from what I was expecting back then and what I thought I knew versus what the reality of it is? So, my next paragraph consisted of I can also provide a pleasing setting or atmosphere anywhere I go. I am very polite and I know how to address people respectfully. Courtesy can make a difference for salesmen. Please the consumer to the point that they're persuaded to purchase your product or service. Create the contrary effect and provoke the customer to succumb to the competition's offer. So, the way I feel about that now is not much has changed. Like, I definitely believe I am a pleasant person to be around, and as a result, people just gravitate toward me. And the worst part about that is that you guys ever hear me say that I feel like I'm a fraud anytime anyone expresses high regards for me? Well, that sentiment has definitely gotten stronger over the years, and it's because you don't want to let people down, but at the same time, when people hold you to such a high standard, and have that expectation of you, it's like, no, I'm still a person who has annoyances. I'm still a person who gets irritated and mad and upset, and I still have emotions. But just because you see the better side of me, because I gotta get paid, doesn't mean that I'm this being that only experiences joy as an emotion. Like, no, I'm still an average person with average situations. So, therefore, it's not like I'm going to consistently be walking around with like this smile on my face that everyone expects as a result of what I do. It's just crazy. The number of people who tell me, you're always in such a good mood and this and that. And well, it's because I'm not an emotional creature when I'm out in public. I just cannot do that. It's not how I go about things. But anyways, and then on top of that, I was saying that if you have courtesy, for example, and you're able to persuade the consumer into succumbing to the product or service that you're trying to sell, then it is important to have a positive attitude so that people feel like you're taking them seriously, like they're important, and that you actually care. Because for some reason, people's emotions need to be really, really like cultivated, because otherwise they're going to try to go somewhere where their feelings are like, what can I say? Just acknowledged. Like, there's this culture in companies now that they try to trick you into believing that they have your best interest in mind. And honestly, that makes me so sick to my stomach, because you know that deep down, all they want is profit, 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 money, 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 sale, 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 revenue, revenue, revenue. So, I, knowing that, not only because I'm a consumer, but also because I'm a worker, it's like I cannot get in the attitude in which I am someone who's all over the customer, because I, as the consumer, do not want salespeople to be all over me, trying to get me to buy something, especially if it's something that I did not have a plan on buying, because I know what my necessities in life are, and therefore I just do not care to be influenced into trying things. If I am meant to get my hands on a product, it will happen eventually. I don't need you to be bugging me about it just because it is the trend. So that's the one aspect about being a salesperson that I personally dislike. It's like projecting interest onto someone on something that you genuinely do not care for. is challenging for me because I don't like to be fake. I don't like to be hypocritical. So deep down, this is clearly not the best career for me, for my integrity gets in the way. But at the same time, I think that's exactly what makes me a good worker, that makes people gravitate toward me because they know I ain't gonna trick them. I'm not going to lie to you. And I think that the best way to protect your customer base is to have integrity. And that is something that's we seem to be letting go of, and that thought terrifies me. And I want absolutely nothing to do with it. And then, of course, if you generate the opposite effect on the consumer, like if you give them a crappy experience, they'll go to the competitor because maybe the competitor is not necessarily whom they have in mind to go give their money to, but at least they feel like it would be more worth it because the way to speak is with your money. So if you go to someone else to give them their money, that means that you have lost them. So it is a big deal, but at the same time, I'm not going to lose my soul over someone getting upset about their individual experience somewhere. You know that at some point they're going to come back if they absolutely need something that only we supply in their lives. It's like you cannot always boycott a place because sometimes that place is the only place that has what you need. So sometimes seriously, but it's like this is just temporary. They'll sleep on it and they'll be back in a couple of days. But I just do not make a big deal about things. And I guess that's the personal challenge that I have, which is if I have a bad experience, which it happens all the time, like pretty often, I go to say Walmart and I have something bad happens, I still go back because they still provide a service for me that I definitely can count that I can go there to get for the best price. So until I am enslaved to budgeting, like as long as I'm enslaved to severe budgeting, then I cannot just choose to not go with them. And it sucks because I wish that I had the choice to be able to spend an extra few dollars going somewhere where I will actually be happy, but you know, it is what it is. You just got to make decisions sometimes. And JP says, hello. I don't want you to think that I didn't see you. My next paragraph says, I am a relatively good swimmer. My lung capacity is exceptional for someone who has respiratory problems, especially when I train to get prepared for serious swimming. Getting in shape shouldn't obstruct my chances too terribly for me to become a lifeguard. And now that I read that, I am absolutely terrified because I expressed that after I had gone to the beach. That I wrote this on 2012. So I remember that summer 2011, I spent a month at the beach. So I'm thinking the only reason I was a good swimmer was because I was in the ocean and I was wearing fins and I was also snorkeling. So it is not me having a good lung capacity because now that I actually exercise and I'm stronger and I'm in a significantly better shape than I was back then, I am a terrible swimmer. It's like I get fatigued, legit fatigued, attempting to go from one end of an Olympic pool to the other end of the Olympic pool. So, this is coming from someone who can do 40 minutes of the absolute highest incline on the treadmill at a considerably steady pace. So, no, I am not a good swimmer. I should not consider being a lifeguard. I will need to be rescued along with the person I am trying to rescue. So, I don't know what I was talking about then. It's easy. I was just naive and had very little understanding of human performance in the water without the assistance of tools like fins and a snorkel. And then when it comes to diving, I medically should not be a lifeguard because I cannot equalize my ears. And then finally, my last paragraph was my mathematical skills should enable me to go up on the job ladder. I'm not tremendously adept, but I can manage certain advanced level problems. And now that I think about it, presently that statement is no longer true because the only thing I have gotten better at is I can sort of sight calculate things now. Like it used to be that I had to use my fingers to actually count and add and subtract and divide, but now I can look at something and be very, very close, and my ability to estimate helps me get to my correct answer faster. But it's not like all of a sudden I'm this math geek or something. Geek or something. So, like, no, no, I am not significantly better at math. I have actually gotten worse since I do not get to practice, or I don't have classes anymore that keep my brain stimulated with numbers. See what I mean? But at least working with numbers in the back room helps, but at the same time, when it comes to starting a problem from scratch or establishing one, like set an equation to solve for a certain factor, word problems, I would not be able to put that together. Sometimes I need to ask for help determining the percentage of something. Like I was asking someone, how do I know the original price of something prior to the percentage being applied? And it took me forever to figure out the conversion of the decimal point and word applauded. So so yeah, it's like if I'm in a relaxed setting, I can think about math and figure it out. But if I have the stress of I'm at work, there's a time limit, and I must absolutely be accurate, and I don't have anyone immediately to consult it with, that's when I guess I make myself anxious to where I generate a terrible insecurity in me. And that's where the potential to make a mistake increases because I'm stressing myself out and doubting myself because I, throughout my life, have always associated myself as someone who sucks at math. So therefore, I have this preconceived notion of I'm going to fuck this up if I cannot discuss this with someone. So, yeah, when it comes to math, I'm not that good at it deep down. I just survive with the very basics that I was able to retain. So that right there is a lie on this essay, in case you wondered. So yeah, you guys, that pretty much concludes what I was going over yesterday, and I really don't have much more to add. So the floor is open. And I see that Jordan has arrived to the party. Greetings. Good to see you. And yeah, you guys, I really don't have anything else to add to that. And yeah, so if none of you guys have any questions or anything to add, I guess I can bail now because I have one of those super early shifts in the morning, like 6-ish hours from now. So I should definitely get some sleep. But anyways. Happy Tuesday. Yay. Thank you. You too. Yeah, it's been pretty good day. Pretty good day. Mike. Hello, Mike. Good to see you, Mike. It's been a minute since I've noticed you in the comments. Then again, I haven't been streaming this late. Bailing. Yeah, because yeah, kind of an early shift, but anyways. Blessings to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The volume is higher now. It's probably because I am deliberately trying to be loud and also stand a little closer. And it's weird because some of you guys do report that my volume is low, but when I'm live, no one really reports that the volume is low. So I guess during the processing of the stream, something happens to where the quality just goes to hell or something. It's gotta be it. Let's see. I feel you, Zamri. I have so many things to do. Yeah, so many things to do, so little time. Your days off are so far apart, and when your days off are here, you're just so tired to be able to function properly as a human. But anyways, you just try to make it work. Let's see. I feel like I had something to tell you guys. Oh yeah, I saw the new Hellboy movie and I considered doing a review, but I really don't have much to say about it because I cannot compare it to the older ones since I never really saw them from beginning to end. and it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. So I'm not sure why people are interested in it or it's not doing so well from what I hear, but I would recommend it because I was pretty entertained. Like I don't want to immediately spoil anything, so don't worry, I won't spoil anything. But it had good dialogue. It had a good pacing. I wasn't lost. I was able to understand everything. And something that I liked is that everyone's story seemed to be explained. Like every single character, they were introduced and you knew what their background was. It's not like you had to walk into this movie knowing exactly what it was about. You have an exposition in the beginning, and then as the movie progresses, you encounter more people, and then somehow they either tell their story or you just find out about it. So it was a movie that everything was clear. So, for someone who who is terrible at keeping up with movies like me and the pacing of it, if I get it, that means everyone else gets it, all right? So yeah, I thought I would mention that, and maybe I'll do a video on it. Um, Jot down some notes from what I remember and discuss it. But I mean, I did not even review Shazam, and that was like 2 weekends ago. So do not look forward to that too much. But I thought I would mention it. If any of you guys have seen it and you wish to discuss it, or you want to encourage me to, I guess, create a separate video about it, then feel free to suggest that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So if you guys don't have anything else to say, I guess I'm leaving. And Jordan said, yes, I guess that was about my comment. I cannot wait. Oh, yes, nobody around here can wait either. Of course, as you can expect, I did not get tickets in advance for that. So I will get to it whenever I get to it. And my boyfriend, of course, he's all like trying to get a way, trying to find a way for us to get to see it early enough. But I'm like, it'll be all right. I'm pretty sure that movie's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like when it comes out, we'll get to it. So just, but I guess the hype is just real because it's all over online and everyone's looking forward to it, and it's being promoted as this like like the apocalypse of the Avengers, which I get it. There's a lot at stake, but oh yeah, and earlier people, there was this trend on Twitter about people who are trying to preserve the integrity of the movie by avoiding spoilers, and that was actually an interesting discussion that I had, and I have made a videos about spoilers in the past. Basically, long story short, I don't give a damn, but I also respect the people who do care about spoilers and not having something spoiled. So my boyfriend and I had like a 15-minute conversation about this, in which basically we had a back and forth in which anything that I would say he would counter and anything that he would say I could counter. So I'm like, I get the point. Some people out there do spoil things to be assholes, I guess. But for me, if I'm someone who actually goes in here, maybe the night of the pre-shows, like before the Friday when movies come out, I sometimes come here and I do a review like everyone else, and I don't feel like I'm an asshole trying to spoil something. But also, even if I had a leak information to leak prior to anyone else and I go online and I talk about it, I would label the content as spoilers, potential spoilers. So you, as the social media consumer, for example, if you're really trying to preserve your, I guess, virginity about a new movie, then you should avoid social media at all costs. Because if you think about it, if you get exposed to someone's theory, even though it's fun to speculate, a theory that ends up being right in a sense spoiled it for you. But of course, it's nothing solid and concrete that's been like confirmed, but at the same time, as someone who has the mindset of it's just a movie and I'm not going to lose my mind over it, it's just strange for me. Like, I know that when you're a hardcore fan, it's like you have your ritual that you must follow. But I try to imagine myself being that way, and I'm like, I'm not the right person to have this discussion about spoilers and if it's material for you to be upset or something, because at the end of the day, it doesn't change my life for the better or for worse. It definitely makes it worse because I guess I would be spending money if I were the one taking myself to the movies, like actively buying something, consuming, watching a movie once. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you feel about that one. Jamelia Gabe, hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before, so welcome. I love your vlogs. I need advice. Well, feel free to share anything that you want to. I would not encourage you to get incredibly. Leave a comment and I'll try to get to you. But I'm not going to be around here much longer, so um, I don't want to discourage you, but yeah, just so you know. Yeah, I heard about that. Too much computers nowadays. Back then, nobody don't have a clue what's gonna happen in the '90s movies. Yes, that's actually something that I brought up during the discussion with the boyfriend. I was like, well, honey, I think that what happens is people don't know how to handle an information overload with so much access to computers, phones, social media, and all that stuff. So I think what upsets people is the nostalgia of what it was like to watch a movie years ago. Like, before you could be connected with the entire planet, whatever your circle of friends knew, that's all that you guys knew and would share back and forth. So, spoilers, having stuff spoiled was next to impossible. So, maybe now that we have access to even the personal lives of actors, and some of them have their social media profiles updated like every hour or so. It's very difficult to detach yourself. It's like you're curious, but at the same time you know that you should avoid them because they may hint to you at something, even if they have the NDAs that they sign and stuff. But I mean, let's face it, if you see an actor getting ready for a role, then you can expect that the character who you believe is dead is going to somehow come back. So, isn't that a subliminal spoiling? Are you going to be mad at that actor for posting their new look or something? But anyways, then again, that's not always true because I don't know if you guys remember, but supposedly we were supposed to get Superman in that one dark black suit or something, and that never happened in the MCU that I can recall. So it's not even a confirmed spoiler. Sometimes you create that own spoiler, but it ends up not happening. If you know what I mean. Let's see. Zam, you're fired. Internet got the movie trailers before TV nowadays. Welcome, new friend. Yes, it's too much. It's funny that you say that I am fired because I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm fired from everywhere. I feel like I'm not present anywhere that I'm at. But anyways, I just, it's whatever. I'm not taking life too seriously. That's for damn sure. And also, at my actual job, I am borderline fired because I am on my final over a stupid way that we do scheduling now. So it's treating me like I have missed shifts. And I'm like, well, if the gadget that we're using doesn't notify me about when my shifts are, why am I being penalized for that? So now what I do is I print the stupid schedule on a piece of paper and take it with me. Well, of course, that's what you do when you print. It goes on paper. And I'm like, if this doesn't tell me the truth about when I'm supposed to show up, then I don't know what fucking will. So one of these days, if you guys see a video in which I'm talking about how I got fired from my job, then that's definitely going to be the factor. And I'm not the only one who's having this problem. So I'm like, what are you waiting for? Are you going to fix the problem, or are you going to wait for the whole team to be, like ready to be terminated to then be concerned and actively work on the problem? See what I mean? But anyways, you guys, don't even worry about it. Like, I am minimally worried. I sleep great every night, even though that's like a following me like a shadow. But I'm telling you, nothing in this life can upset me or worry me. Like, them days are over. The days of my anxiety crippling me are over. Let's see. Welcome, new friend. You said it's too much. I miss the 90s movie endings. Makes you cry, laughed, even shot. What happened or sad? Well, what happened? You become an actor. Seeing you in movies will be mind blowing, Samri. You know what? I know I have mentioned this before, but just in case you never got around to hearing it, when I was in eighth grade, I wanted to be an actress badly. Like, all I wanted to do was take theater classes and basically anything that would get me close to that. But then in reality, I was incredibly shy, and there are actors out there who do great and they're shy, but my shyness was so crippling that I could study a script and I knew it from beginning to end, but when the moment of truth came, it was like line, line. And I'm like, what fucking happened? I knew it 10 minutes ago. I knew it 5 minutes ago. I knew it 2 minutes ago before I got on stage. What happened? So after that, I said, unless somehow I am able to conquer my insecurities, I guess, my stage fright and my anxiety, there is no way that I should consider that as a career. And now that I'm older and I know what it actually takes to make it as an actor, actress, and be successful, it's like, no. Because when you go for that career, you can expect to be unemployed for a long ass time. And I also am not very fond of the idea of having to travel a lot. Like, you just never know where the job is going to take you. And I just said, that's not the kind of job for me. So, but maybe one of these days I may come up with something and just, and make pretend type of story. But don't look forward to it. I don't have anything planned for that. But just thought that I would let you know. What cured your anxiety? Hi again. By the way, Zam, I like your hair. Ah, you like my upside down banana peel hair. I appreciate it. Oh no, and hi Jordan. Hope you're doing well. Meh. Uh, Now I have a question. Masud or Masud? Masud sounds better. I just never know how to read people's usernames. I always butcher it. Like, there's a difference between you looking at it versus pronouncing it and saying it. Like, the sea of comments in YouTube is just amazing. But anyways, all right, guys. I don't want to ruin the party, ruin the hangout, but I should really leave and get some sleep because I got that just crack of dawn. Suit, sir, and nice to meet you. Let's see. I feel like I had something else to say. Did I say it? Oh yeah. What cured your anxiety? So, what cured my anxiety really quick, and this is going to be my concluding statement, was that I learned to just put my mind at ease by convincing myself that no matter what happens, everything will be okay. And the way that I convince myself that everything will be okay is that I have gone through so many experiences that have put me to the test. Like, back in 2013, during that summer, I was briefly homeless. But fortunately, I was not alone. I had my mother, so we had a plan. We got through it together. And then on top of that, I finally got my first job experience during not too long after that. So I remember how I was when I started my job. I was incredibly shy. I was like insecure about speaking on certain things, and I didn't know anybody. I was alone. And then I realized that when you have connections and you have folks to recur to advise you on certain things, life becomes a whole lot better. Because when you feel vulnerable and fragile, like you have nothing to find refuge in, I realized that that was the source of my anxiety. I just felt like I had nothing to back me up. I had no safety net. I had no support. I felt like it was very limited and very just I was in a very vulnerable stage in at that moment in time. So now that I have built myself up, built my character, and learned self reliance, everything has gotten a lot better. And my self reliance came as a result of meeting folks from different life stages and how they go about things. And all I needed was a little bit of advice, a little bit of exposure, a little bit of experience, and if you go through so many experiences in life, you're supposed to grow from them. So my anxiety was simply, it was made to take care of myself, pretty much. So now it's like if I am having, say, financial problems, I know that I should work more, I should get up earlier, I should try to have more grinds on the side, I should be as productive as possible during my waking hours, and then my situation will get a little better. And if it comes down to it, then ask for help, but make sure that I keep track of it. And I'm like, okay, if I borrow $20 from you, I can tell you, hey, in 2 weeks, you can expect to see your $20 back, and absolutely live up to it. Be like, weeks ago I said that I need $20. Here you go. It doesn't matter what happens, just get back to the point when you said that you were going to get back to them and not make excuses. So basically, being a better planner and opening up and accepting and admitting that I need help cured my anxiety. So hopefully that makes sense and that answers the question, because everyone just has varying levels of anxiety. Now I meet people who remind me of how I used to be, and then I tell them, hey, I know that you have probably heard this before. You have probably heard that everything is going to be all right, but this is why everything is going to be all right. And I can tell you and assure you that it'll be all right. So hopefully that makes sense. I guess I can create a separate topic about this to sort of revisit it now that I have obtained new experiences that I can expand on. But for me personally, that's what has helped me, and that's why I say I'm more confident these days, and I feel the difference. I'm more peaceful, and it's like nothing can bring me down, even though it looks like I'm in dire situations. So, whatever you do in life, do it with confidence. If you're applying for a new position, do it with confidence. If you're applying for a college, do it with confidence. If you need to do public speaking, do it with confidence. So, I also learned to have fun doing everything that I do. Like I used to be worried about being a perfectionist, and now it's like whatever. Give it your best, but if you don't do your very best, that's your opportunity to grow. Like, where can you be better? How can you make it better? Just empower yourself. Also, have supporting people who empower you, but also allow yourself to grow and to be taught. If you have that mindset, trust me, everything will be all right. All right, so I'm gonna catch up with the comments, and after that, I am seriously leaving abruptly. No matter what, that's brave, Zamri. You are a brave person. Keep on doing that. It is very important. That's very courageous. I hope you sleep well. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It means the world to me, and I will do what it takes to be